On Friday, March 4th, 2022, legendary Australian leg spinner Shane Warne was found dead in a Thailand hotel room at approximately 5:15. Hello everyone, this is the Cricket Forum, your place for the latest news, views, rumors and gossips in the world of cricket. So Shane Warne was spending time in a Thailand hotel. Information received by Cricket Forum is that he had asked hotel staff to get him a masseuse. It is reported by the police that CCTV footage showing four masseuses entering the hotel at 1:53 p.m. Thailandese time. It is said that two masseuses went to his suite. Two masseuses went to his suite. We do not know how long they spent there, but a third masseuse who said that he was there to give him a manicure and a pedicure said that after waiting and he did not come down for the service, he got a maid and went to Shane Warne's room to check on him. Suite, not room, suite. He said after knocking on the door, he did not get any reply. And so they informed authority, and one of his friends broke into the room at 5:15 p.m., gave him CPR before the paramedics arrived, until the paramedics arrived, but he was pronounced dead at 5:15. The Thailandese authority are saying no foul play is suspected and that autopsy shown that he has died from natural causes. Let the rumors be what they be. I only tell you what the official report is. There's a lot of rumors surrounding his death. A lot of rumors. None of them suggesting foul play, but suggesting other things. I do not know about that. The authority said two female entered his suite. That's what they said. Two female entered his suite. Another female who is called, what they call her, friend or pat or whatsoever, another female masseuse who said that she was there to give him a pedicure and a manicure. After waiting, got a maid and went to knock on his door, but there was no response, and she thought that he was sleeping. Hours after, or sometime after, he was found dead. His friend brought down his door, went in, gave him CPR. The police are reporting that they saw blood on the floor, but the authority are saying that Shane Warne was sick. Apparently he was vomiting or something, but no foul play is suspected. His family have accepted the autopsy report. But what is seen to be causing more controversy than Shane Warne's death is the fact that legendary Indian Open batsman Sunil Gavaskar have came out and said that Shane Warne was not the greatest spinner of all time. Now people are saying that he should not have said that at this time. He should have shown more remorse, more sympathy, and so they are saying that it was a wrong time. But Sunil Gavaskar was asked a direct question. It was a direct question by a journalist, and he answered honestly, and he gave his opinion. He gave his honest opinion. So what more should the man have done? Should he have told a lie because the man is dead? He clearly stated that he sympathized and that he is disturbed by the death and have sent condolences to Shane Warne's family. He clearly stated that. But then the question was asked of him, and he said that no, Shane Warne was not the greatest, because he said that Shane Warne failed to conquer Asia against the best batsmen of spin. And so he could not rank him as the best when he was unable to conquer Asia, when his record in Asia as a leg spinner is terrible, is the worst of every other places that he have toured. Now, I want to put Gavaskar statement into context because there's some context behind it. Although this was not said in his interview, but Shane Warne has played 148 tests, 148, 143 tests. Sorry, he have played 143 test matches, took over 708 wickets at 25.41 apiece. But that is class under any circumstances over a career. That is class. That is greatness. 708 test wicket at 25.41 apiece from 143 tests. That is class. That is averaging more than 5 wickets per test. So that is class. That is class, and over a career of 143 tests, it's unquestionable. There's no doubt about the quality of Shane Warne. And who can forget that delivery of the century that he bowled to Mike Gatton of England in that test match? Who can forget that? Pitch outside leg stump and hit the top of off. Brilliant delivery. This is called the delivery of the century. He also played 194 ODIs, took 293 ODI wickets at 25.73. So his ODI average and his test average were not far off. One is 25.73, that's his ODI, 293 ODI wicket from 194 ODI matches, and 708 test wickets from 143 matches at 25.41. He was indeed a great bowler. But was he the greatest of them all? Let's put it into context. When I was growing up, it doesn't matter what your test average is. It doesn't matter how many centuries you score in test cricket. If you have not conquered the West Indies bowling attack, you would not have considered a top of the top batsman. Yes, there were many world-class batsmen, but to be considered the greatest of the time, you have to show it against the West Indies attack. You have to make centuries and have good averages against the West Indies attack to be considered one of the best of the time. That's when I was growing up. Nowadays, it doesn't matter what your test average is. It doesn't matter how many centuries you have scored. If you have not conquered Australia in Australia, you are not one of the best of the time. And so over the years, these things usually happen. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. There's always somewhere to be rated among the very best of the best. There's always somewhere that you need to go and perform. In today's game, it is Australia. You need to perform as a batsman in Australia to be classified as one of the very best. In my days when I was growing up, you needed to perform against the West Indies bowling attack to be considered one of the very best. That is putting in context what Sunil Gavaskar is saying, that Shane Warne, as great as his figures are, he did not conquer Asia where the best batsmen playing against spin ply their trade. And so he could not rank him at the top. You have to give the Indian spinners and players like Muttiah Muralitharan an edge over him. And I think that's a fair comment. Shane Warne was undoubtedly a great bowler, but was he the greatest spinner of all time? Looking at Gavaskar's opinion, I have to say he was not. Gavaskar cited statistics and data to show that Shane Warne did not perform that well in Asia. And I don't have those statistics and data in front of me right now, but I think I've viewed them and it lends credibility to his claim that Shane Warne is not the greatest leg spinner of all time. Now, in less than an hour, West Indies will play England in the first test match of 3, starting at the Sir Vivian Richard Oval in Antigua. Now, looking at the test team, the West Indies test team, I am tending to leave Versame Pamal. I think if they play Pamal, Pamal is not going to get many wickets. I don't see Pamal getting more than 3 wickets in this match over the 2 innings. If England should bat twice, I do not see Pamal getting 3 wickets in the match. So my view is to play Joseph, the very fastest bowler in the team. Is the only bowler who can bowl above 140 in that team. Jaden Seals, who I believe is the next great West Indian fast bowler. And Roach, who many consider to be the leading West Indies fast bowler, red ball bowler of the time. Roach is considered to be the leading bowler of the time. So therefore, I will play those 3 along with Older, who is the number 1 ranked test all-rounder in the world. So I'll play a 4-pronged pace attack backed up by Kyle Mayes, who will now become a 5th pacer, and maybe Blackwood can bowl a little off spin, Campbell can bowl a little off spin to give the pacers a break, or Bonner can bowl some leg spin. But I would not go into the match with Versame Pamal. I do not see Versame Pamal getting any wicket in this match. And if they do play him, what are the expectations are? Is it that it's expected that he will play and he will go for 2.5 or less than 3 runs or over while he tie up one end, but the expectations are not to get wicket, but the first expectation is that he will bowl at less than 3 runs per over. If Versame Pamal is playing in this match, it must be stated clearly what his role is, because I do not expect Versame Pamal to get more than 3 wickets in this match maximum. He may well don't get any, but I will put my money that he will not get more than 3 wickets in this match. I'm willing to bet anyone that Pamal will not get more than 3 wickets in this match. So instead of playing Pamal, I would go with Joseph, Seals, and Roach. What if they are playing Pamal? Who will I drop? Joseph is the only bowler can bowl above 140. I would play him. I would definitely play him. I believe that Jaden Seals is the next best, is the next great West Indies fast bowler. So I will definitely play him. I will drop Roach. If Pamal is playing, so the 11, my choice in the 11 is either Pamal or Roach. I would have to play Seals and I would have to play Joseph. Yes, I have to play those batsmen at the top. I have to open Brathwaite and Campbell will open, Bonner 3, Brooks at 4, Blackwood at 5, Mayers at 6, Old at 7, the keeper at 8. And then it will be Jaden Seals, Joseph, and Roach. That will be my preferred 11. However, if they are not playing, if they are going to choose to play the spinner, if they say that they need to play the spinner because of variety, because all of those 4 bowlers are the same, I would leave out Roach. Yes, I would leave out Roach. I cannot leave out my fastest bowler in the squad, and I cannot leave out the man who I think is the next great West Indies fast bowler. So if they are playing Pamal, Roach is the man who should get dropped. I know that they will say that he's presently the leading West Indies fast bowler, but he's the man I would drop. As I am betting money that if Versame Pamal plays, he will not get more than 3 wickets in the match. I'm betting money on that. That Versame Pamal will not get more than 3 wickets in this match. So I will not go with him. But if they are going with him, I will leave out Roach. Now, India have won the first test match against Sri Lanka convincingly by more than an innings and plenty runs. Over 100, I think it's 176 runs. I think it's 170 an innings and 176 runs. They have won the match comfortably. But some controversy erupted over Jadeja when India declared with Jadeja on 175. And they were reminding people that Rahul Dravid was a captain when Sachin Tendulkar was 194 not out and he declared. And so now Dravid is the coach. It's surfaced again that Jadeja should have been allowed to make the double 100. But reports coming out, Jadeja have been quoted as saying that he was the one who told Rohit Sharma to declare. So that end that argument. It said that Jadeja was the one who told Rohit Sharma to declare. So that ends that controversy there. So blaming Dravid was wrong. It was wrong. Now, you know that the IPL start on the 26th of March. Yes, on the 26th of March, the IPL starts in India. Now, there are a lot of foreign players who have commitment in March up to the 5th and 6th of March. Australia is presently touring Pakistan for the first time in 24 years, and that series ends on the 5th of April, while the IPL starts on the 26th of April. South Africa have a test series starting against Bangladesh on the 30th of March. Netherlands is expected to tour New Zealand from the 24th of March to the 4th of April. And West Indies, England will be in the West Indies playing test cricket, which ends in late March. It's late March. The third test will start sometime in late March, because the first test starting today, which is the 8th. And the third test will be in March. So those players will not also be available for the start of the IPL on the 26th. So franchises are fretting and their players are negotiating with their own country, and captains and former players and supporters are coming out and saying that country first over money, but country doesn't pay the bill. What would you do if you are in that situation? Would you go and play the IPL where the financial reward is great, or will you stay and play for your country where the financial reward is not so great? You know, players in the past have criticized their country, like Zimbabwe cricket have been criticized by Brandon Taylor and Eat Street, because those two are claiming that if Zimbabwe cricket had paid them, they would not be found to be corrupt. They would not have done things to corrupt the game of cricket, because both have been found guilty of spot fixing and trying to bring the game of cricket into disrepute, and they are blaming it for not getting pay from Zimbabwe cricket. I have information that the West Indies players that went to the World Cup have still not been paid as yet. So West Indies cricketers have not been paid any World Cup fee, any match fee for the tour of Sri Lanka, Pakistan, for the home series against Ireland, for the home series against England, for the T20 and ODI series in India. West Indies cricketers have not been paid. There are players who have owed more than 50,000 US dollars. Some have been owed more than that, and these players have not been paid as yet. So when you play this franchise cricket, most of the time, by the tournament is midway through, you get 3/4 of your money. So what are we asking these players to do? Not to play the franchise cricket and to play for our country when our country is not paying us on time. I know these like England and Australia and New Zealand and South Africa. We expect that these countries are paying on time because, in honesty, I've not heard any report about these countries. The countries that I've heard report about is Zimbabwe cricket and West Indies in particular. These are the countries that I've heard reports about that they are not playing their players on time. But as it stands now, the IPL teams are sweating over the available of players from Australia, South Africa, England, and New Zealand, who at the beginning of the IPL, their countries will be involved in ODI series, T20 series, Test series against other countries. And they are fretting about the availability of these players for the start of the tournament. Now, one of the good things about West Indies, blame Cricket West Indies for what you mean. And there's a lot of blame must be ascribed to them. But one of the things that they have always done is to ensure that there's a clear window for its players to participate in the IPL. And we can understand that. It is all about money. Because remember that when these players participate in the IPL, money comes back to their home territory. And West Indies Cricket Board is a broke entity. So they cannot afford for their players not to play in the IPL because they get a percentage. They get a percentage of these players playing in the IPL. I don't know if that percentage comes directly from the player's salary or it comes from the BCCI. I need to check it out whether that money comes directly from what the players contracted for or it comes from the BCCI. But the home territories of the players all get money in their coffers. And West Indies Cricket Board, in the financial shambles that it is over the years, have ensured that its players have a window to play in the IPL. So give them credit where credit is due. It's not the same with Australia. Australian cricketers, there are cricketers in the Australian team who retain a contract is over $1 million a year. Just like in India, England, New Zealand, these players have retained a contract for over $1 million a year. So if their home territory asks them to miss the IPL, you can understand. But right now, with the start of the IPL scheduled for the 26th, there will be one match on the 26th and two matches on the 27th. So they are kicking off with a bang on that weekend. As it stands right now, IPL teams are sweating on the availability of Australian players, South African players, New Zealand players, and English players. Finally, and please remember, slash a like on the video, share and subscribe. This is the Cricket Forum with Carlton Brown. England women appears that they have what it takes to reach the semi-final of the Women Cricket World Cup. Before the start of the tournament, I did not see them making the semi-finals. I look back at those two matches played, those final two ODI played against Australia in the Ashes. I look back at those final two ODI, and the team looked defeated. It looked despondent. It looked fragile. It looked weak. And I'm saying if they look like this and they're in a bubble, because they did not return to England, they left Australia and went straight to New Zealand and to remain in a bubble for the start of the World Cup. And they look so despondent at the time. They look so fragile. They look so weak. They look so disinterested in cricket. And with an aging team, because we must admit that this English team is an aging women team. Shrubscole and Brunt are just like Broad and Anderson. They have been playing from whenever. So it's an aging team. They are in a bubble for so long. They were properly flogged by Australia. And the open display of emotion by Brunt and Spatsiver have affected some members of the team. And I did not expect them to overcome this. But their performance against Australia on Friday night, although they lost, I am now beginning to look at the possibility of England making the semi-finals of the World Cup. Now, my four semi-finalists, as you have known, would have been Australia, India, New Zealand, and South Africa. If England is at their best, and there's a lot of quality in this English team, and if they are at their best, and they are playing their best cricket, despite all the challenges that I list above, they are going to take points off some of these teams. And then I would have to reconsider by the fourth round, by the end of the fourth round. I'm going to reconsider my position, and by the end of the fourth round, I'm going to see what level of cricket they are playing. I'm going to see if that despondency sets back in. I'm going to see if bubble life is taking a toll, because they are in a bubble from December. They have been in a bubble from December, the only team that is in a bubble from December. I am going to see that if the relationship between Brunt and Cypher, which is an open display, is out affecting the team. So by the end of the fourth round, I'll make a decision whether I should include England in the semi-finals. Yes, whether I should include them. Not whether they're going to make it, is whether I should include them in the semi-finals. I'm going to look at their performance, and so by the end of the fourth round, I'm going to decide whether that England will make the semi-finals or not. Thank you everyone for tuning in. This has been the Cricket Forum, and until tomorrow, be good, take care, and please remember, slash a like on the video, share, and subscribe.